live podcast. It is a brand new episode of New Start Monday Knits. I'm so happy that you're joining me. And thank you guys for voting for today. This was a really fun vote. So I'm going to show you really quickly the yarn. This was up in Instagram and Facebook, blue or yellow, what was going to be this week's cast on, and there was tons and tons of votes. So we'll get to that in a few minutes. I also have progress on last week's New Start and the start from a number of weeks ago, and a little bit of Sock Madness update. Just a tiny little bit, not too much, but I'll let you in on what all I know as far as Sock Madness right now. So this week's vote was on yarn that I bought yarn shopping this past weekend. I was a little jealous of everybody that got to go to Knit City Montreal for that show. It was something that I had been wanting to go to, but I just couldn't go this year, and hopefully next year. So I got to see everybody's posts on Instagram, what they were buying, the vendors that were there, the knit night fun that was going on. It looked like it was so much fun. So thank goodness for Instagram. It makes you feel like you're there even though you're not. So I decided that since I wasn't going to Knit City Montreal this year, I would just go do a little bit of yarn shopping myself. So I went to 2 yarn shops that I had never been to in person before, and that was really fun. They had some different stuff there, which was really exciting. So I picked up 2 skeins of yarn. Well, okay, who am I kidding? I kind of came home with a good part of a bag full, but these were the 2 that I picked for this week for the New Start Monday knit voting. So I had this beautiful ball of sock yarn. So what is it here? Superba Tweed. It is a 4-ply, 375 meters. It's a 60% wool and 30% polyamide. So it is, oh, and 7%. Oh, okay. What is it? There's a little bit more here. Let me backtrack here. 60% wool, 30% polyamide, 7% acrylic, and 3% viscose. So I wonder if the acrylic is weighty parts, maybe? I'm not sure. Anyway, so it is not a superwash, so it will have to be hand washed socks only. But a 60-30, I thought that was kind of interesting. But isn't that color gorgeous? It's a really nice mustard gold color with those little tweedy flecks in there. So the other one, okay, this came from Spun Fiber Arts. This one came from the Wool Bin, and these are both shops in Oakville. This is a Juniper Moon yarn, and I wish you guys could feel this. It is so soft, and I think it was Susie posted Facebook, Instagram, I'm not sure where it was. She said that she has worked in a yarn shop that has carried this, and she said this is like a cloud, and it really does feel like that. It is Cumulus. It is a cotton blend. It's a 94% cotton, 6% nylon. So on the tag it says the softness of cotton with the strength of nylon. And oh, it feels nice. One of the ladies working in the shop, she said this makes a really good baby blanket. And it would. It is so soft. So anyways, this color is Cornflower. It has 251 yards or 230 meters. It is a worsted weight, and it is also a hand wash. So it is a 1-ply. I think that's where the softness comes from, because it's not spun really super tight. Susanna, I saw that that's what you voted for on Instagram. Susanna's just like, cast them both on. So there it is. It's very soft. So hi to everybody who's popping in here. So these were the votes. So these were the yarns. This obviously was going to be for a sock project. If this one here was the winning yarn, I would cast on socks. If this is the winning yarn, this is going to be a sweater, because I bought, this is my bag that I came home with. Don't think I posted this picture on Instagram yet. I'll have to do that. Our bagfuls. Oh my goodness, we found so much fun yarn. But I came home with a few skeins of this to make a sweater. So the voting was blue yarn for a sweater, the yellow for socks. And socks, the yellow, I thought was going to take over the lead. And I might have for a little bit, but not really for long. There was a lot of comments. People were saying, go with yellow because the Fiber Friends, it is sock knitting month. So obviously knit, knit socks and go with yellow because it's a springtime color, all that kind of thing. But you guys know, in the end, the blue cotton for the sweater won by quite a bit. So a sweater is going to be cast on. I am super excited. My friend that went yarn shopping with me, she bought the same yarn in a different color, and I think we know the pattern that we're going to knit. So I will give you those details next week once I get it cast on. I am just, give me one sec here. I'm going to try something different tonight. I'm going to see if I can bring up YouTube and see comments over here on my laptop. See if this is going to make it any easier for me. Okay, so I'm going to try to look both ways. So we'll see how this goes tonight, because I'm just having a really hard time seeing comments on my phone tonight, which is when I'm recording. So I am going to kind of look sideways so I can see comments. So I see Anne said yay blue. So Anne, did you vote for blue? Oh, Nancy also said woohoo for blue. So Amber, I know Amber, you voted for yellow. I actually would have thought if I was guessing, if I was betting, I would have thought everybody would have said yellow because I'm in a sock knitting mode right now. I'm all excited about knitting socks. I want to cast all the socks on. All the socks, you guys. Yeah, I am still bitten by the sock knitting bug hugely. So before we get too far into socks, I am going to show you what I worked on a little bit on the weekend. This was a project from a few weeks ago. I also bought myself a new little bag when I was shopping. This was kind of like a treat yourself weekend, I have to say. So anyways, I love this little bag, and it works perfect for putting a dishcloth in there. So let's see. Oh, Sally says she went for the beautiful yellow too. I know the yellow was pretty, but there was a lot of people were going with the blue. Oh, Anne says I have enough socks. Anne is not a sock knitter. So yeah, maybe that's, Anne's not going to vote for socks, is she? Sabrina voted for yellow. Oh, Susanna, you're wearing your Jocelyn socks. Oh, that's so fun. Those are by Nikki. Nikki Knits is the designer of that pattern. Okay, you guys, look at this. Remember this Mod Blue Bernat Handicrafter dishcloth cotton? I pulled this out, I think, the very first week of Sock Madness, thinking that I would need a super easy project, right? When I was between socks, or when I went to take a break from Madness sock, which, like I said, I think last week, right? Total rookie mistake, because you don't take a break. When you start knitting those socks, you just knit them. There's no taking a break. But anyways, since I'm out of the competition part, I did work on this project this weekend. What do you guys think about that stitch pattern? I think I really, really like it. I think I had a somewhere, if it was on a Friday night, maybe it was last Monday when we were here, about a complicated stitch, not complicated, but just a little bit slower to knit stitch pattern. Would people want to do it? A few people were like, oh yeah, something fun, something different, definitely would love to do it. And other people were like, depends on the size of the project. If it's small, then yes. If it's huge, then probably not, which I think is totally fair. So I think I like this. I think I like it. It's really fun. I like the texture, and it's just a different kind of knit. Oh, okay, so Anne is saying very pretty, yes. Oh, Nancy says it's very pretty. Oh, Susanna, are you asking, Susanna? Is it called meshing with E? Oh, it is for a pattern. So maybe, Susanna, that's something different. Anyways, I like it. So I think this is going to show up in another pattern at some point. So this dishcloth is just kind of my playing around, gauge swatch kind of thing, getting a feel for the pattern. But it was fun. So I've worked on that a few nights. Just yeah, just playing around. We'll probably end up in a shawl in the not so distant future. Okay, what else can I show you? I'm gonna put some of this over here. Socks. Last week's new cast on, I had some Patton's Croix. The round 2 Sock Madness sock had not come out yet, and I had the bonus sock pattern, and it was a shadow knit. I think when we were talking last week, I had said that that was my first thought when I saw this pattern. I thought it was a shadow knit, and then I showed you the picture. I just kind of held up my laptop, which the picture on the pattern doesn't do the actual sock justice, really. It looks a lot cuter when you actually see it knit up than the pictures that they had on the pattern. And it is indeed shadow knitting. My first guess was right. So it is, it's going to be fun. Now, I had a little bit of, well, not really a problem per se, but I did pull it out. So I've recast it on. I had to go smaller needles. I'm using the Patton's Croix, so the navy and the off-white that you guys voted for. I think last week's vote was going to be white and brown or white and navy, and you guys said blue. So this is it. I have pulled it out. The first go around, I got the entire cuff done, and it was just a little too big. You know how you get that gut feeling as you're knitting, you're looking at it, and every time you get to the end of the row, you hold it up, you look at it, and there's just this little voice in the back of your head saying, something's not right. But you carry on knitting a few more rounds, and you'll just keep looking and thinking and humming and hawing over it. It looked too big. It looked too big because I had to cast on more than my normal amount of stitches. I was using the same needle that I normally do for the Patton's Croix, but it had more stitches on it. And every time I kept looking at it, I thought, man, this looks large for a sock. I pulled it on and it fit, but there was no negative ease. And I was like, oh, I could keep going and give it to somebody else who wears a larger size sock than I do. But in the end, I thought, no, I think I want these socks for me. So I did pull it all out. And I've reknit it, and I'm just a row or two short of where I was. I had a couple of more stripes, a couple of navy and a couple more white rows. So maybe I'm about 4 rows short of where I was when I had pulled it out. So I hadn't done too much. So thankfully I didn't do too much. And then, yeah, so it wasn't a whole lot of knitting that I had to pull it. And I'm happier with it. It definitely looks more like a sock size now. It doesn't look super huge. So this is going to be a really fun knit, but I'm going to set this aside because I have seen on the Sock Madness thread, people are finished their round 2 sock, and the new bonus pattern has come out, and it looks really fun as well. And let me see if I've got, oh shoot, I closed it. Let me see if I can pull up Ravelry here. I can't remember the name of the sock pattern. The patterns are not available yet to purchase, but you can go onto Ravelry and you can search the sock pattern and you can see the designer's page there, and it tells you that it's a Sock Madness pattern, and it will be available for purchase once the competition is over, which is usually mid-June. So this one, Zollner, Zollner, and it's a colorwork sock with a different kind of a heel. It looks like a short row. It's not a heel flap and gusset. And just looking in the chit chat in the Sock Madness Forever group on Ravelry, people are really excited, and there's a lot of buzz about this heel. And the designer said that she said people who have test knitted patterns for her in the past would definitely have an advantage knitting this sock because they would already be familiar with the heel. So I'm really excited to get that pattern and try this now. The color work is like a optical illusion kind of effect, just kind of like zigzaggies, and then the colors are done in opposite, like contrasting, you know, like your dominant color is dominant on one and opposite on the other sock kind of thing. So it looks really fun. So now I've got this push on to get my round 2 socks done in time. So let me show you those. So my blue and white socks, which, what were they called? I Wised Up, I think was what the name of those was. They're going to get put on hold for now. They're cast on. I've got my needle, my gauge, everything's sorted out. So they're just going to go sit for a few minutes, well, a week or so, until I get round 2's sock finished. And I started it. I think I started it Tuesday or Wednesday last week. It is a colorwork sock. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I'm sure it wasn't out yet on Monday, so I haven't chatted here about these socks at all. And they are really, really pretty. And I've just got a nice little start on sock 1, and then I kind of set them aside, and I shouldn't have. I should have kept going, but I got busy with other things this weekend. So I'm going to hopefully spend a lot of time working on these right now. Okay. I've got my balls of yarn. Everything's a little tangled here. So I went back to my Fable yarn. Remember way back a few weeks ago when we were doing the qualifying sock for Sock Madness, the one that I ended up doing navy and, oh, these guys, they're right here. Remember this pair? This was the first pair for Sock Madness. And I started out using brown and green, which I thought was really funny because Karen, who is a knitter in Germany, she and I picked the exact same colors for our socks, which I thought was really funny, right? Like, what is the odds that we would pick, out of all the colors in the rainbow, we would pick green and brown? And I started knitting it with this green Fable and did not like it. I found it really splitty doing the cables, and I ripped my sock out, which I found out in hindsight was not a good thing to do in the qualifying round for Sock Madness, because then it really, really pushed me to the absolute last hour to get my socks submitted and qualified. So that was a good learning lesson. But in the end, I don't know if I could have carried on knitting with the yarn, this green Fable in that cable pattern, because it was just, it wasn't working out well. So I guess I had to just do what I had to do. But anyways, I thought I'm going to try this yarn again because so many of you had said, Louise, I don't know what your problem was with that Fable. I've used it tons of times. I use it all the time. It's great. It's wonderful. So I thought, okay, I'm going to try it again. I needed 3 colors for round 2's sock. It's color work, and it has a double knit pocket on the side of the sock. It's called Plaid Pocket Sock, which is exactly what it is. So I thought, well, I'm going to try this Fable again. So I had these 3 colors. It's all Fable. I didn't mix my yarns at all. The white is Fable as well. Don't know if there is any names on here. I don't think so. I think it's just the green is color 112, the red is color 106, and the white is 100. So they're Christmassy colors, right? I had bought these colors thinking that I was going to do color work Christmas balls. That was my idea of buying these. And then they've sat in my stash for the last couple of Christmases and I have not gotten around to it. So I thought, you know what better way to make sure that I get a pair of Christmas socks knit than to start them for Sock Madness. So I cast on and I'm having no problem with the sock yarn. I think, I don't know, it was just cables. I don't know. For that first pattern, just didn't have much success. But now, just doing a really fun plaid stranded color work pattern, it's knitting up great. Don't know. Oh, I can show you a little bit of the inside. So there's no catching floats. Everything just changes so quick. Oh, what is this? Oh, Nancy asked, do I have post office box for Happy Mail? No, I don't. I am just, okay. So anyways, I haven't really been reading comments. I'll have to go back and scroll. I was just taking a peek at them right now. Anyways, inside, it's knitting up really easy so far, but I'm just, you know, when I say fun is kind of like the interesting, don't want to say challenging part. I know reading through the comments in Sock Madness, some people did have a little bit of trouble. Some people had to pull back. Some people had to do, I know our friend Wendy said she had to do some sock surgery on hers. So it is that kind of fine balance because you have to knit fast because this is a timed sock knitting competition. So you've got to kind of balance that out between you've got to knit quick but also try not to make any errors because while you're competing in the actual competition, when you send your pictures of your socks in, they have to be really clear, good lighting, in focus, so the moderators can really look at your pattern. And if your pattern is off, right? If your plaid has got a little blip in it somewhere, I think they let a certain amount go through as what they call an honest mistake. But if you have too many or more than one or two or so, I don't know what their cutoff is, then they tell you, they come back to you and say, no, sorry, there's too many mistakes in there. You need to either fix it, rip it out, reknit, do something, and then you can still resubmit. So it's really that that balance between being really careful that you're getting your pattern done completely right and being fast enough that you get your socks knit, pictures taken, a Ravelry page made up, and everything emailed into the moderators for them to okay it before your team fills up. This pattern came out on Tuesday. I'm sure it came out sometime on Tuesday, and by Thursday, I had looked and there was about 14 pairs of finished socks. 14 pairs done. I took a peek tonight in the Ravelry thread, and out of 26 teams, 3 teams are already full and done. They're closed. And one of those was the original team that I was on. So I was put on somehow, crazily, on like in the top 3 fastest knitting teams, which we all know is completely crazy. But anyways, that's where I ended up. And they're full. There was, let me see if I can give you a quick, I can go back here. Last time there was 40 knitters on most teams went through. I think some, depending on how many they started with, maybe had a different number, like maybe 38 or something, right? But I can't, let me see what the number is. So it's a little bit less. I'll tell you for sure. No point in guessing. It's right here. I'll just take a peek. So round 2, it looks like Yeah, about 32. This one team, yeah, that's filled. There was 32 people went through. Last time there was roughly 40. This time there's about 32. Yeah, so some teams that are super, super fast are already done and they're already knitting the bonus pattern for this round. Other teams, there's some of the slower teams still have like 22 spots available on them. So there's a little bit of a speed difference on some of the groups. So that's kind of nice that they maybe try to get people the same speed knitting together for the first few rounds, and then I think at some point you just, you know, there's a certain cutoff. If you're not super, super fast, you're kind of done at a certain point. But it's fun that you can still carry on and do the cheerleading and still get the bonus patterns. So that's kind of what I'm aiming to do, is before the whole total round 2 finishes, before all 26 teams are filled and the round is completely closed, I want to get my socks done and submitted. And they're not competition socks, so I'm allowed to knit them to fit my feet. I don't have to knit the foot a certain specific length or rows that the competition knitters all have to do. I can make mine a little shorter because the first 2 pairs I knit were too big for my feet. So I'm gonna have to go back and fix them at some point. And I don't have to worry about mistakes. As long as it is, what did they say, like a quote, close resemblance to the pattern. So you can have some mistakes in there, but as long as it's for fun, as long as you get it finished before the round closes, I will be able to get this new bonus sock pattern and not have to wait till June. I will eventually get it, but I will have to wait to June. And, you know, seeing people knit them right now, I want to knit them as well. So I'm going to try to get my plaid socks done and in before all the competition knitters get theirs done. So we will see. That is my plan for Sock Madness. Did I have anything else? So plaid sock. I'm thinking I may want to just knit this pattern over and over again in non-Christmas colors. If you take a look in the Sock Madness thread, or again on Instagram, and search Sock Madness 16 or Sock Madness 2022, you'll see pictures of the finishes, and they're so fun. Like 3 different shades of colors. People have got really creative with their color choices, and it's like eye candy, right? So much fun. So I can show you some more yarn that I bought on the weekend. I went shopping with a purpose, you guys. Something that I don't very well, like basically never do. Usually all of my yarn shopping is, oh, I like that yarn, I'll buy it. I'll find something else to knit with it. You know, I'll figure it out at some point. And it just comes home and it gets put in my stash. And sometimes I knit it, and sometimes it sits there for a really, really, really long time. This time though, I was looking for solid color sock yarn. And I know you guys, hold on to your chair, don't roll your eyes, and don't laugh too hard at me. But I realized that I needed some more sock yarn. That I did not have a very big stash of solid color sock yarn. And for colorwork socks, you kind of need that, right? Variegated and self-striping just doesn't work for some of those patterns. So I went out thinking that's what I wanted. I wanted to get some solids. So I looked at the first store. Sorry guys, Eric just started to call. Hopefully he'll remember I'm busy and not keep calling. And at Swan Fibers, they had some Cascade, but it wasn't anything that I was really, really in love with, except for the tweed yarns. And I don't know, would you call these a solid? I mean, maybe, I guess so, right? Because I guess this would work as a solid, even though it's tweed. And, oh, and you're not feeling sorry for me? The fact that I needed more sock yarn? I know. It is funny, right? That I guess when you go out buying sock yarn, you get enticed and you just get like swept away with all the fun, pretty, beautiful colors that all these dyers do, right? The color combinations they put in one skein, and you just buy. I mean, I do, because they're so pretty. But I do really want solids, because when I buy, like, you look at the, well, I guess there is some there that's variegated, but a lot of my yarn that I buy is solid. But my sock yarn wasn't really following that for for whatever reason. And anyways, I had to fix that. So I came up with this one here at Spun Fibers, and I got another one. Okay, I'm gonna have to pick the bag up. It's gonna be crinkly for a sec, guys. There is a gray. Try not to crinkle the bag too much. So I came up home with this one as well, and I don't think there's any names. No, there's just, I think, color numbers. It's actually not even in English. So this one, and the tweed in it has got that little flecks of the blue and red. There is a little bit, see, there's a yellow, and there is like a tealy color in here, just maybe right there. So there's just little flecks of color in here. So I really liked that, and I'd never knit with this yarn before, so I thought I would give it a try. So that came home with me, and then we went to the wool bin. That's where they had some really fun stuff. Came home with 2 balls of this. So it's a Cascade, and what's it? It says Refine. Yeah, Refine. 100% recycled material, which is pretty cool. I like that. 75% superwash merino wool, 20% nylon, 5% viscose. So there's the other shade. So this one here is just a dark gray. These ones might have names on them. I do always like it when they have names, if I can find them. Anyways, I suppose it doesn't matter. But this one here is a dark gray, dark like a charcoal. Okay. I'm not seeing any names. I thought they had names in the store. This one here is like it's like a gray, a bluey gray color. It's not, I think when you hold it up to the gray, the kind of the blue comes out a little bit more, doesn't it? Anyways, these felt really nice. I really like these. Really like those. So I thought these would be great for colorwork socks. So those 2 popped in my shopping cart. And then I got, well, I don't know, maybe not carried away. But have you guys noticed that neon colors seem to be huge this spring? So there's a pink. Don't know. So this is a 50 grams, 210 meters. It's a 75/25, and it is, yeah, so it's wool. It's not a superwash, J-Wall. Yeah, what color? This doesn't have a color. I always like it when they have color names. Anyways, hot pink. We'll just go with hot pink. I bought a few of these because I thought I'm going to make some nice colorful socks. I actually thought this would look nice together for Halloween socks. So we've got a nice orange. There's a bright blue. Hi, Kim. Light and dark grays with that neon pink would be fabulous. It would be. Oh, more sweater yarn. Oh, and I grabbed a purple. Purple is not one of my go-to colors, but I really want to try to get some different colors. Okay. As I say, I want different colors, and I come out with neon yellow. Sabrina, love the orange. I know. They were all so nice. And I've got one more in here. Oh, a green. There were a few different shades. I did not buy them all. That would have been lovely to just be like, oh, I'll just take one of all of them. Wouldn't that be great? But these are what I came back with. And I think they are just so fun. So I thought this will be a good start. Look at all those fun colors. And this one and this one. So there's some colors. Asa will permanently remove the purple from your, I know. Asa's always looking at the purple in my stash. So look at that. Thinking I should be able to do something fun with all these colors, right? I know. Oh, totally pride socks. Absolutely, it is, right? Yeah. So that was my purchase, and I felt really happy about this. I love these colors. Love these colors. Something nice and bright. I feel like I need an extra arm or something here. I think okay, I'm still dropping them. Hi, Diane. Now you can make all the socks. I know, I can. Now I can make all the socks on my bag. You are right, because they were all really fun, bright colors. So now I've got some things to get me started. So I think I need to rearrange. I need to find a cubby here and clear out something that's in here and start my solid sock yarn stash. That's what I need to do. I know, oh, I know Amber says I'm missing red. I know. Don't like, you know, red, only time I like red is at Christmas. Like this, I would really never buy. I like a raspberry burgundy color. If it's a bluey red, I'm okay with that. But yeah, like really look, do you see any red anywhere? Oh, red just for Christmas. But I would buy some red. I don't know if they might have had red, and I just ignored it. They had a few shades of blue, like denim blues and navy blues. I just wanted some bright, you know, something like spring colors. So this is a good start. And I know Suzanne at Knit Stitch has some sock, yeah. Yay, yeah. I always got to think between yay and yeah, sock, yeah, yarn. And they're 50-gram skeins as well. I don't know what all colors she has, so I'm going to go look on Knit Stitch's website and see, because I thought that may be a spot I go this coming weekend and add a few more, maybe more neutrally colors, like maybe a navy, maybe a brown, something like that. So I've got a little bit of a nice base, good foundation stash to start with. Oh, hi Jocelyn. Oh, what is this? Jocelyn saying, oh, she's got check-in knitting with Liz. Yes, Jocelyn and I are chatting Thursday night. It is our regular monthly check-in. So that'll be fun. So yes, I'll see Jocelyn. I will chat with you Thursday night. So that has been my knitting. I feel like, oh, there was one more thing. There was one more little project I had, but I thought I left it up here. There it is. My bag is sitting on it. I did some bead knitting. Our guild is finishing up our bead knitting month. And one of the girls there, I think she kind of started a trend. She knit a beaded bracelet. And now there's been a bunch of us have knit some bracelets. And I did one, and I think it's really fun. So this was my yesterday afternoon project. I thread on all of these beads. Are they, I don't know if it looks like it's very clear or not. So I just went all one color. The pattern actually called for 4 color of beads, but I just decided to do one. And the pattern name is Mingle Cuff. Mingle. Like jingle with an M. Mingle Cuff. And it is a Lauren Nelkin design. Don't know if you guys knit with beads or do a lot of lace, you'll probably be familiar with some of her patterns. So that was what I knit, and then just put a little clasp on there. Little hook and eye. So that was a little fun little project. So I can say now I did 2 projects for my guild. Something that had beads. The first round 1 sock pattern at Sock Madness, they had beads. Remember those ones that were just a little around the cuff, around the ankle, and this. So now I can say I feel like I did my part. I took part, because lots of times I come up with all of these challenges for everybody in the guild, and then I don't always get my projects done. Surprise, surprise. So now I'm going to be able to show them that I got 2 projects done. And our guild is also working on socks, the same as the Fiber Friends. I might have made that coincide so it would be easier on me, so I didn't have to have quite so many projects on the go. So it is sock knitting month all around. Sock Madness, the Fiber Friends, and then my own guild projects. So socks it is for the next month anyways. So the Fiber Friends sock knitting challenge started for the whole month of April. It's pretty exciting that this was the kickoff of our monthly challenges, was sock knitting, which stemmed from Sock Madness. And here we are a year later. The Fiber Friends have been doing monthly challenges for a whole year now. So that has been a whole lot of fun. That I think is it. Yarn shopping and socks. A little bit of bead knitting thrown in there, and then that really fun little stitch pattern that I'm going to work into a shawl project. That has been my knitting, you guys. That has been my weekly update. So as far as the rest of this week goes, you're right, Jocelyn and I will be chatting on Thursday. So I have projects that I need to still work on for that. And hopefully I can come back and show you my plaid sock next week. I'd love to have a finished pair, but I don't know, that might be pushing it. But at least I want to have one sock finished, and I can show you the pocket. It's a double knit pocket, and it seems like it's going to be really fun to work. I'm just at that point right now on sock 1. I just have to sit down with the chart and start doing a double knit pocket on here. Sounds lots of fun. Some people on my cheerleading team who are still knitting along but not in the actual competition, a lot of them have said, yeah, I think I'm just going to skip the pocket, and they have just carried on doing the whole plaid sock. But I want to do the challenge part. I mean, I've done tons of double knitting, and I have done double knit pockets before, but I think this construction is a little bit different just reading through the pattern. So I'm really excited to try it and try it their way and see how it turns out. Love trying something new. And just, I love the fact that there's still things out there that I have not tried. I just can't tell you how excited that makes me. Oh yeah, the sweater. The sweater. I know. I have to cast on the sweater. I am going to do that. Okay, I can't. Okay. My laptop died. I had good intentions of having this up here, and it only worked for a little while, and it died. Obviously, I guess it wasn't charged as much as I had thought, so that was a good idea, but I was going to look up the pattern on Ravelry. The pattern that we have pretty much what we kind of bought our yarn according to was Center Point Popover, I think is the name of the sweater. We saw it was a shop sample and fell in love with it. So fingers crossed that everything works out once you know, sometimes you start knitting a project, and sometimes the yarn and the stitch pattern, it just doesn't jive, and then you have to abandon and find something else. Fingers crossed this will work. We saw the sweater at Spun Fiber Arts, but the yarn that we would have wanted to make it out of, they didn't have enough a sweater quantity in either color that I wanted. So we went to the wool bin, and we were looking, and we found just enough yarn there. They didn't have a lot sweater quantity yarns either, but we just got enough. So fingers crossed it will work. Oh, counterpoint popover. That could be it, Susanna. That could be it. Counterpoint, and it has it's a V, and it comes down, and then it's got it's that does not help you guys. Directional. That's the word I want to use. And it's cropped. We bought extra balls of yarn to make it a little bit longer because it's cropped and then has like a bat wing sleeve. So it kind of almost reminds me of like what a swan show probably is. But I don't think this is a swan show. I think it's just a sweater. But yeah, it looked really, really cute. So I'm excited to try it. Oh yes, Sonia. We will have to figure out a day for that. Yes, we had talked for some of us that are local to us here. So in London, Sarnia area, doing a little meetup and going to the couple, excuse me, going to the 2 yarn shops in Sarnia, and then, you know, doing lunch and then knitting for the afternoon, if there's still time. I mean, I don't know. The yarn shopping may take the whole day. Whether we get any yarn shop or like yarn knitting time in there, I don't know. But yes, that is on the agenda for soon. Yeah, so Susanna says counterpoint popover. That could probably be it. Oh no, Kim says it is center point. Kim found it. Okay, and it does show it has either, it says short sleeve, which looks like no sleeve, kind of like it looks sleeveless, or you can have long sleeves, and it has an option of a hood or not. Oh, Susanna put the link in here. Fantastic, thank you. It's really fun. I think it looks gorgeous. Oh, Susanna's confirming it is center point popover. I know I just like the whole popover instead of pullover. Popover. I don't know. It definitely caught my eye in the store. Heaven is handmade and feather your nest. Yes, they are close. They are close to one another for sure. So yeah, it's not like you have to. I mean, you could walk to them. I've always drove though. I've always parked at one end and gone to feather your nest, and then I've drove down to the other. You could walk, but they are close. That's right. So it's not like there's a lot of driving time. That's for sure. Oh, Diane, did you see it too? Oh, yes, it is a Pearl Soho pattern. You're right. You're right. I didn't. Yes, you're right. It is. Thank goodness for Ravelry, right? You can stand there in the yarn shop and pull it up on Ravelry and then do the conversion with whatever I can't remember what yarn they used to knit it with. It was a linen yarn, and get the yardage and then convert it to the yarn that we had in the store to see how many balls we would need and all that kind of thing. And then think we would need extra because I don't want it cropped. I want a little extra there. Linen quill, that's right. And the first yarn we looked at Spun Fibers, where the yarn was a linen cotton blend, and it was so nice, but they did not have enough for a sweater. So, but I took a picture of the ball band of that yarn because it's something that I would definitely want to knit with again, and may order it from someplace or in our travels at some point, see if another shop has it for sure. Oh, Diane, you actually have some of the linen yarn? I know, it would be fun to knit, right? I know. So many fun things. Just want to cast on all the things. I just think I need to take the whole summer off my job and just go permanently sit by the beach and just knit everything. Oh, you've got hot pink, Diane. Oh my gosh, wouldn't that make a fun summer sweater? So because we got it in the cotton, thinking that it would be a great around the campfire sweater, those cold, not cold summer nights, but it can get cool, right? In the summer, the sun goes down and it gets cool. Thinking you just always need to sometimes go grab a sweater or a jacket, a sweatshirt when you're sitting around the campfire. I think this sweater, I don't know, it just has that feel that it would be your go-to comfy. You just want to throw something on. Just it just has that really feel to it. I don't know, there's something about it I just really love. So I hope once I get it knit and try it on, I'm hoping that I love it as much as I think I'm going to. Amber, I have been there before. It is a lovely shop for sure. Yes, Amber came across hand knit in Hamilton. And yes, it is. I haven't been there. I haven't been there in a while. I haven't been there in a few years. So, but I know it was really nice when we were there. And it was a nice little part of Hamilton. There was some other little cutesy little shops. I remember going shop hopping, not all yarn, not crafty stuff, but just, other stuff. And um yeah, it was fun. So that's good, Amber. You got some beautiful yarn there. And didn't you come away with a colorway that was dyed specifically for the store? That's really great, like souvenir yarn, right? When you go find different shops and can come back. And I think, Amber, in your Instagram post, you had said when you're traveling to different cities, you'd like to find yarns that our local shops don't have. And that's exactly what I was so excited about these two shops in Oakville was it was different things that, yeah, you kind of get used to what your local yarn shops have, which is nice and good, right? That they are consistent and carry something. So if it's a staple yarn, that's something that you're always going to want to go to for sweaters or baby stuff or whatever, right? Something that you knit a lot of, and that they always carry, Cascade 220 or Barocco Vintage, um, what Regia or Opal sock yarns. Sometimes it's nice to have that, and you can always count on it being there, but sometimes it's also nice trying something new, right? So it's fun. I think that's going to be a little bit my plan for the summer is to hit up some local and kind of local, like Toronto-ish yarn shops and see what I can come across. Hi, Emma. Oh, your local yarn shop closed. And now it's all online. And well, you know what? Okay, maybe I shouldn't tell you this, but I did a quick little Google search yesterday because I am kind of thinking about doing some day trips and doing some dedicated yarn shopping throughout the summer. And within, a 2-hour drive around, I came up with, well, maybe a little more, between 2 to 3 hours. So say that. Some of them might be more than like 2.5, but 2 to 3 hours drive, I came up with 36 yarn shops. I was actually surprised that the number was that high. There is a ton in Toronto. There's a lot more in Toronto than there was a few years ago when we kind of did a little bit of a yarn crawl day in Toronto. There's a lot more shops now than there was then. So that is really exciting. Oh no, Amber says, poor Jason wasn't happy trying to find parking in downtown Hamilton. And yes, the yarn is dyed for that shop. Yes, I know. That's the problem, right? Sometimes finding parking, yeah, can be can be the trickiest part of the day, right? Oh, if you need a car buddy, you're in. Okay, Amber, we may take you up on that. we can maybe make that happen for sure. I know it's kind of fun planning some day trips around yarn shopping. and, you know, finding a nice place for lunch, doing a little walking around the main street. Some of these little towns around is fun. Oh, hi Sam, how are you? So we have got just a few minutes left. I have really chatted a whole lot tonight. I've seen you guys earlier were chatting amongst yourselves, which is great. What are you guys knitting this week? Do you guys have plans? What is your plan? If you want, we can chat for another 5-ish minutes, maybe 8 minutes or something like that. Won't keep you too much past the hour. But what are you guys all working on? Is anybody working on socks? Fiber Friends, you guys need to knit socks for the Fiber Friends challenge because it's so much fun. You know, because everything, I am like obsessed. You guys all know whenever I'm obsessed with something, I should say obsessed. That sounds kind of bad, right? When I am loving doing something, I just want everybody else to do it with me. Try to share my joy with all of you. Sally, socks. Did I say socks? Oh, Sally's doing socks for the challenge. Hi, Alice. Hi, Kate. Katie is working on socks. Fantastic. And you guys, I did open the thread in the Fiber Friends group. Karen, who is doing Sock Madness socks, about the second day of the challenge, so I guess like April 2nd, she messaged me and she's like, Louise, I got my socks done. And she's like, but there's no finished thread. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's only day 2. I'm like, who has a finish already? And then I thought, oh yes, there are faster knitters out there than me. So I did get into Ravelry and the finished thread is open now. So all of you guys who have been super speedy over the weekend, if you finished up a whip, you can go over there and post your finishes. And there is a chit chat thread open as well for people who are on Ravelry. I'm with Sock Madness, I am on Ravelry a whole lot more than I ever was. So it's something that I actually am enjoying chatting on Ravelry. So I need to get back into that. I had kind of gotten out of that and hadn't been on Ravelry as much, but I'm really enjoying being back on there and chatting with everybody in the groups. Okay, so let's see. Diane is doing a sweater. Amber's working on 2 pairs of socks. Of course, Amber, not just one, but 2. Good for you. That's always fun. Your socks are always so inspiring to see how quickly you get them done, and that's wonderful. Emma says socks for the challenge. Kim says you have 2 different socks. Oh, and a cotton tee on the needles. Perfect. Perfect time for a cotton sweater, right? For summer. Hi, Jen. Jen's working on a test knit. Oh, 1 shirt until the next Sock Madness sock comes out. Yes, Jen is. So Jen, Wendy, and Karen are the 3. I know for sure you girls are still in Sock Madness for the next round. And I'm not sure if there was a couple of other people in the Fiber Friends group. I think it was Rebecca. I think she, like me, is no longer competing. And Tanya was knitting. So yeah, I'm not sure if Tanya and Rebecca, if they're both still in it or not. They might, one might be. I know one is out. But anyways, that's okay, right? I mean, I know I talk about this all the time, and you, at some point, you guys are going to get totally tired of talking about Sock Madness, but it is so much fun. And come February next year, oh my gosh, you guys will have to just put up with me because I'm going to so encourage everybody to sign up. I mean, well, or at least follow along in the Ravelry thread or on Instagram because it is a lot of fun, or just listen to me chat about it. I don't know. But if you're at all on the fence about it, I would say sign up. So, oh, Anne says definitely obsessed. Alice, oh, shorty socks and your grandson's vest. Oh, those sound like both great projects. Hi, Tammy. Charity hats and a lace shawl. Lace, see, perfect for summertime, right? Oh, Sam, you're still not on the mend. Hi, Cindy. Socks. Oh, but arthritis
Oh, is slowing you down tonight. Well, yeah, just do what you can, right? Nancy is working. Oh, what is this? Oh my gosh, one of those Flip It dolls. I have wanted to do one of those for about 16 years, probably. My niece is 18, and I don't think I really thought about doing it for my daughter, but I know I did for my niece, and I never did. But maybe I will do it for some new babies at some point. That sounds really fun. Oh, bonnet baby. Oh, bumblebee crocheting a cat. Oh, a cat bed. Oh my gosh, you've got all kinds of projects, Nancy. Diane. Oh my gosh, Diane's got 4 pairs of socks. Okay, you guys, that's great. Susanna, you are on the last repeat of a cowl. And that's all that stuff to the ribbing, 6 rows. Fantastic. You have a finish in sight. That could be done tonight. Can you put a link to the Ravelry page, please? Yes, I will. I will go in under this video and I will put in the link to some Ravelry stuff. I will do a link for the Fiber Friends group for the sock challenge. I will put in a sock madness link because have to. Oh, okay, Rebecca is in. Oh, Rebecca, okay, so Rebecca's here. Okay, Rebecca, you said yes. Oh, you are out. Yes. But I am making the plaid socks. I know. So are you on the actual cheerleading team then, Rebecca? See, I know. I'm thinking, doing cheerleading is not a bad way to go as opposed to actually competing. I really don't see a downside to it at all. It is like a whole lot less stressful, that's for sure. Let's see. Alice says, oh, what do my sock madness socks look like? So this is the one. This is what Rebecca's knitting too. How far are you, Rebecca, on yours? I just have a little start on mine. So they're plaid and they're going to have a pocket on them. A double knit pocket, and that's right where I'm starting. My next round is setting up for double knitting. So, and when I knit the cuff part and the first part of the chart, it was later at night and it was getting close to midnight when I finished that bit. And I was so tempted to start the double knit part. And then I said to myself, look, I'm finally learning after all these years. I'm like, no, Louise, do not do this, because we all know what's going to happen, right? When you have to read, not a tricky chart, but you have to read the chart. And she suggested reading the written out instructions to really help clarify what the chart is telling you. That's not what you need to do close to midnight, right? So, and then other things came up and I never got back to it. So tonight, when we're done chatting, I'm going to get the double knitting started and wind my blue yarn because I have a sweater to cast on. Oh my gosh, all the fun stuff. So anyways, I gotta look back here. Rebecca, I think, answered. She said yes. Okay, so Rebecca is in the cheerleading team now. Yes. I go back to my original team, Team D, and cheer them along as well. Yeah, I've looked at my Team V, and they don't really need much cheering because they're all done. They're all knit. The team is full already. Yeah, I mean, man, they're fast. It is just really helping me think that seriously, I'm thinking about continental knitting. I mean, I continental knit when I do color work because I hold a yarn in each hand, but I'm seriously thinking that I need to try to get faster with my continental knitting next year for Sock Madness. Let's see here. Rebecca says you have the first sock nearly done. Fantastic. And you have the gusset done and just knitting the foot now. The pocket is sort of thrilling to finish. Look at that. See, I know that's why I really want to knit it. I look at some of these other people who are on the cheerleading team and they're just like, yeah, no, I think I'll skip it, right? And I'm like, oh, you guys, but this is the fun part. This is the fun. But I don't know. I mean, I think I would do the pocket on this pair just because it's fun, it's unique, and it'll be like super fun to come back and tell you next week how I made out with it, if I had to pull it out, if it was similar to what I've done in the past or if it was something different. If I was to knit the plaid socks again, like as a gift, would I put a pocket on them? Probably not, right? Because it's probably not very functional. But it is just a fun thing to try and play around with, right? Anyways, oh, Rebecca, I'm so excited for your socks. I will have to go. Have you posted a picture of them anywhere so I can see them? Or what is your Ravelry name? And then I can I can go check it. I was gonna say I can stalk you, but that doesn't sound very nice. I would never do it in a bad way. But I could go check out your socks. Sam, you've been in pain. I know, you just have got something going on, don't you? Well, hopefully you can, I don't know, maybe it's just about time. It's just gonna all fix itself up here, right? So Rebecca, yes, it's all the knitting. So when you're on the cheerleading team, so once you get kicked out, you still on the cheerleading team, you get to do all the knitting, but yeah, you don't have to worry about the pressure to fix mistakes. And you've got a little bit more time frame because you don't have to knit the speed of your team. It's just you have to be faster than the slowest people on the other slower teams, which for right now, I think I can keep up with them. When we get another round or two in, that may not happen, but that's all right. Oh, good. Oh, okay. I will go chat with you on Ravelry, Rebecca. You've got lots of photos there. Okay. See, my knitting, like with my work schedule now, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, I have very little knitting time. I work long days, work long hours, and so I don't get a lot done. So come Thursday night, Thursday to Sunday, that's my knitting time. So these next few nights, I just try to get a little bit done, but not too much. So I will have to, but yeah, so there won't be too many pictures. I guess that's where I was going. I won't get too much done on these socks until really the weekend, but that's all right. That's just the way it is. Amber, you would like to donate a yarn prize for the sock challenge? That is fantastic. All right, that would be great. Thank you so much for doing that. Okay, oops. We are a little bit over our time, so we had better wind up for the night, and everybody can carry on knitting at home with whatever you're working on. Hopefully this last hour you have got lots of knitting done on socks. It sounds like a lot of people are doing socks. Oh my gosh, you guys, I wish you could just squish this. It is so soft, so beautiful. I'm gonna go wind this and start my pocket. So thank you everybody for voting on my sweater yarn. This is going to be a fun project to get started. And thanks for chatting. Thanks for visiting here tonight. This is always a lot of fun. It is always the perfect way to start a brand new week. So I hope you guys get lots of sock knitting done, or whatever your project is. You get speedy needles and get lots of progress, right? Hopefully no drop stitches and no unknitting. And maybe there'll be some finishes in your future too. All right, I'm just going to take a last peek here at these last comments. And all right. Yep. Okay, guys. Good night. And yes, I will be here with Jocelyn Thursday night. It is half an hour earlier. We start at 7:30. So you can come back. We're always on for an hour to an hour and a half, and we will see. Because like you guys know who have watched Jocelyn and I before, we always have a very fun time. And sometimes we get our projects done that we said we were going to over the month. And there's usually a very good chance that we did not. So you can come and check us out and see how we made out. So have a great couple of nights, guys, and hopefully we will chat with you on Thursday night. Good night.